All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Sunil Verma. The headlines. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to present Union Budget 2021-22 in Lok Sabha at 11 a.m. today. Gst Revenue collection for month of January this year almost touched 1.20 lakh crore rupees. Prime Minister asserts government committed to modernizing agriculture and taking steps in this direction. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar reiterates new farm laws do not affect current MSP system and mandis. Mumbai local trains resume operations for all from today. Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi and other senior figures detained this morning. And in cricket, Tamil Nadu beat Baroda by 7 wickets to lift second Syed Mushtaq Ali T20 trophy. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. Now the news. The Union Budget 2021-22 will be presented in the Parliament today. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will present the budget in the Lok Sabha at 11 a.m. The Union Budget this year for the first time will be available only in digital format. It can be accessed through mobile app Union Budget both on Android and iOS platform. The app can also be downloaded from the Union Budget web portal www.indiabudget.gov.in. The app has been developed by the National Informatics Centre under the guidance of the Department of Economic Affairs. In his statement to the media before the commencement of the budget session, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had expressed confidence that the budget 2021-22 would be seen as a part of the packages announced by Finance Minister over the past 10 months to offset the impact of COVID-induced lockdowns.
ये बजट का भी सत्र है। वैसे शायद भारत के इतिहास में पहली बार हुआ कि 2020 में एक नहीं हमें वित्त मंत्री जी को अलग अलग पैकेज के रूप में एक प्रकार से 4-5 मिनी बजट देने पड़े। यानी 2020 एक प्रकार से लगातार मिनी बजट का सिलसिला चलता रहा और इसलिए ये बजट भी उन 4-5 बजट की श्रृंखला में ही देखा जाएगा, ये मुझे पूरा विश्वास है।
More from our correspondent.
This is the third budget to be presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and is the first budget after the COVID pandemic phase. In an unprecedented initiative, Union Budget 2021-22 will be delivered in paperless form for the first time in the history of India. For hassle-free access of budget documents by members of Parliament and the general public, using the simplest form of digital convenience, the Union Budget app was launched by Finance Minister. The app facilitates complete access to 14 Union Budget documents, including the annual financial statement, commonly known as budget, demand for grants, and finance bill. The app has a user-friendly interface with immediate features of downloading, printing, search, zoom, table of contents, and external links. It is bilingual and available in English and Hindi. The budget documents will be available on the mobile app after the completion of the budget speech by Finance Minister in Parliament. Earlier, the Finance Minister had held several pre-budget consultation meetings with stakeholder groups, including economists, agriculture and agro-processing industry, trade union and labor organizations, industrialists, financial and capital markets, health, education and rural development, water and sanitation, industry services and trade, infrastructure, energy and climate change sector. Ms. Sitharaman had also held pre-budget consultation with finance ministers of states and union territories with legislatures for budget 2021-22. With Anupam Misra, Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had presented the Economic Survey for 2020-21 in the Parliament on Friday. The Economic Survey projects India's real GDP to record a 11% growth in financial year 2021-22 and nominal GDP to grow by 15.4%, the highest since independence. A report from our correspondent.
The Economic Survey states that the fundamentals of the economy remain strong as gradual scaling back of lockdowns along with astute support of Atmanirbhar Bharat mission have placed the economy firmly on the path of revival. As per IMF, India is expected to emerge as the fastest growing economy in the next 2 years. India remained a preferred investment destination in financial year 2020-21 with FDI pouring in amidst global asset shifts towards equities and prospects of quicker recovery in emerging economies. Economic survey shows Ayushman Bharat has led to improved health outcomes, saving lives and livelihoods, and resulting in various direct and spillover effects. It has strongly recommended an increase in public spending on healthcare services from 1% to 2.5 to 3% of GDP as envisaged in the National Health Policy 2017. It notes that this can significantly reduce the out-of-pocket expenditure from 65% to 35% of the overall healthcare spend. With Anand Kumar, Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
Today, the budget bears a burden of many expectations to put India back on the path of recovery following a deep recession induced by the COVID-19 pandemic. Our Mumbai correspondent spoke to taxation experts from Indian Merchants Chamber, Mumbai, regarding their expectations from this budget.
Mr. T.P. Oswal, member of Direct Taxation Committee of Indian Merchants Chamber, Mumbai, says that this union budget will need to have calibrated measures to accelerate the road for economic recovery.
This budget has to be accelerate the road for economic recovery and also to do ease of business in the country. The government must take some steps to promote savings and investment, which needs to be improved and instill the confidence in the people.
Mr. Vikram Nankani, chairman of Indirect Taxation Committee, Indian Merchants Chamber, Mumbai, has several expectations related to GST.
Remove all restrictions on input tax credit. This will reduce the cost of transaction. That there must be a total alignment of the laws as far as GST and foreign trade policy and the customs exemption notifications are concerned.
The list of expectations is long. However, there is a hope that Budget 2021-22 will leave no stone unturned to boost economic activity and steer the pandemic-hit economy towards higher growth path. Sweetie Jain, AR News, Mumbai.
Our Bhopal correspondent spoke to economist Amit Banerjee on his expectations from the budget today.
The economists are optimistic with regard to budget coming. Amit Banerjee, head of the Department of Management at the Maulana Azad National Institute of Technology, Bhopal, expressed his expectations on the budget.
First, let's start with the tax. Corporate income tax. The government has already given some relief, made it simplified, so one should not have too much expectation regarding it. And it's at a fair level with the rest of the world. Regarding personal income tax, government may not exactly increase the limits as such, but with regard to exemptions, it may do something.
Other economic analysts also gave their opinion that they are hopeful, but due to the corona epidemic, the country has gone through a crisis and the government has already taken effective steps to overcome this. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
The News Services Division of All India Radio will bring you special live day-long programs on the Union Budget 2021-22.
News Services Division of All India Radio will bring you special live day-long programs on the Union Budget 2021-22.
In-depth analysis of the budget by eminent experts, special budget bulletins, people's reaction on the budget, and exclusive interviews will be the major highlights.
Tune into FM Gold channel 100.1 MHz of All India Radio and other frequencies from 10:20 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Monday, 1st of February.
It will also be available on our website, newsonair.com, and our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official.
The Goods and Services Tax GST revenue collection for January 2021 has almost touched 1.2 lakh crore rupees. The Finance Ministry said the gross GST revenue collected in January this year is 1,19,847 crore rupees, of which CGST is 21,923 crore rupees, SGST is 29,014 crore rupees, IGST is 60,288 crore rupees, including 27,424 crore rupees collected on import of goods. Cess is 8,622 crore rupees, including 883 crore rupees collected on import of goods. The total number of GSTR 3B returns filed for the month of December up to 31st of January this year is 90 lakhs. In line with the trend of recovery in the GST revenues over the past 5 months, the revenues for the month of January this year are 8% higher than the GST revenues in the same month last year, which in itself was more than 1.1 lakh crore rupees. During the month, revenues from import of goods was 16% higher, and the revenues from domestic transaction, including import of services, are 6% higher than the revenues from these sources during the same month last year. The GST revenues during January 2021 are the highest since introduction of GST and has almost touched the 1.2 lakh crore rupees mark, exceeding the last month's record collection of 1.15 lakh crore rupees. The GST revenues above 1 lakh crore rupees for a stretch of last 4 months and a steep increasing trend over this period are clear indicators of rapid economic recovery post-pandemic. Talking to AIR News, economist Naveen Gupta said,
The collections figures for the month of January have come, which is 1,19,000 crores, which is 8% more on year comparing to previous year, which is very encouraging because last month collection was 100.15 lakh crores. This month we are having a collection of 100.19 lakh crore, which is very encouraging. And this shows that the measures announced by the central government and Reserve Bank in the form of Atmanirbhar Bharat, totaling to 29 lakh crores, were steps in the right direction, and these steps have been even appreciated by the world insofar as during last 1 year we have received foreign portfolio investment of 117 lakh crore, which is unprecedented, and we are seeing.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that India's fight against coronavirus and its vaccination program have turned out to be exemplary for the world. In his monthly radio program Mann Ki Baat on All India Radio today, the Prime Minister said India is undertaking the biggest COVID vaccine program as well as vaccinating citizens faster than anywhere in the world.
आज भारत दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा कोविड वैक्सीन प्रोग्राम चला रहा है। हम सबसे बड़े वैक्सीन प्रोग्राम के साथ ही दुनिया में सबसे तेज गति से अपने नागरिकों का वैक्सीनेशन भी कर रहे हैं। सिर्फ 15 दिन में भारत अपने 30 लाख से ज्यादा कोरोना वॉरियर का टीकाकरण कर चुका है, जबकि अमेरिका जैसे समृद्ध देश को इसी काम में 18 दिन लगे थे और ब्रिटेन को 36 दिन। साथियों, मेड इन इंडिया वैक्सीन आज भारत की आत्मनिर्भरता का तो प्रतीक है ही, भारत के आत्मगौरव का भी प्रतीक है।
The Prime Minister expressed delight that a month-long strawberry festival began in Jhansi recently. Gurleen Chawla, a law student, has played a huge role in it. The Prime Minister said experiments like the Strawberry Festival not only demonstrate the spirit of innovation, but also demonstrate the manner in which the agriculture sector is adopting new technologies. He said the government is committed to modernizing agriculture and is also taking many steps in that direction. He said the efforts of the government shall also continue in future.
स्ट्रॉबेरी फेस्टिवल जैसे प्रयोग इनोवेशन की स्पिरिट को तो प्रदर्शित करते ही हैं, साथ ही यह भी दिखाते हैं कि हमारे देश का कृषि क्षेत्र कैसे नई टेक्नोलॉजी को अपना रहा है। खेती को आधुनिक बनाने के लिए सरकार प्रतिबद्ध है और अनेक कदम उठा भी रही है। सरकार के प्रयास आगे भी जारी रहेंगे।
Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar has reiterated that the new farm laws do not affect the current minimum support price MSP system and mandis. He said under new ecosystem, mandis will be more competitive and cost-effective in terms of services and infrastructure, and both the systems will synergistically coexist for the common interest of farmers. Responding to NCP Chief Sharad Pawar, who criticized the new farm laws, the minister said, new laws facilitate promotion of additional choice channel for farmers to sell their produce to anyone and anywhere with hassle-free movement in and outside the state to realize competitive and better net price for their produce. He said Mr. Pawar is a veteran leader and it appears that the NCP chief was genuinely misinformed of the facts. The minister expressed hope that now Mr. Pawar has the right facts, so he will also change his stand and also explain the benefits to farmers. Mr. Tomar said Sharad Pawar is a veteran politician and a former Union Agriculture Minister who is also considered well-versed with the issues and solutions relating to agriculture, and he has himself tried hard to bring the same agriculture reforms earlier.
About 87,20,000 farmers have been benefited so far from the ongoing Kharif marketing season procurement operations with MSP value of over 1,12,983 crore rupees. The Agriculture Ministry in a statement said that paddy procurement for Kharif 2020-21 is continuing smoothly in the procuring states including Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Tamil Nadu, Chandigarh, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, Assam, Karnataka and West Bengal. So far, over 598.43 lakh metric tons of paddy have been procured. In Chhattisgarh, a record number of over 95% of total registered farmers have sold their paddy during the current Kharif marketing season on minimum support price. A report from our Raipur correspondent.
Paddy procurement in Chhattisgarh under the minimum support price scheme started from 1st of December and lasted till 29th of January. During this period, more than 92 lakh metric tons of paddy was procured. This year, 21 lakh 52,000 farmers had registered themselves, out of which more than 20 lakh 53,000 farmers have sold their paddy at the support price. According to the state government, this year the paddy purchase broke the record of the last 20 years. Paddy is the major crop of Chhattisgarh, and for this reason, the state is known as the rice bowl of India. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
The centre has allowed cinema halls to operate with their full capacity from today. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar yesterday released the new Standard Operating Procedures (SOP) on preventive measures to contain spread of COVID-19 for cinema halls and theatres.
ज्यादा से ज्यादा ऑनलाइन बुकिंग हो, यह हम एनकरेज करेंगे। 2 शो के बीच में थोड़ा समय रहेगा ताकि भीड़, अचानक आने वाले और जाने वाली भीड़ एकदम ना हो। सैनिटाइजेशन और कोविड प्रोटोकॉल का पूरा सावधानी बरतनी होगी, लेकिन वहां के स्टॉल से खरीद करके ग्राहक थिएटर में खाने की चीजें ले जा सकता है।
The SOP states that no exhibition of films shall be allowed in containment zones, and states and union territories may consider proposing additional measures as per their field assessment.
In a major relief for commuters, the local train services in Mumbai will resume for the general public from today after a gap of more than 10 months. Travel by local trains, lifeline for millions of people living in Mumbai and surrounding satellite towns, was severely restricted after the coronavirus outbreak in March 2020. The trains will be available in 3 time slots from the start of the day's service to 7 a.m., 12 noon to 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. to the end of the day. The timing has been restricted to avoid crowding during the COVID-19 pandemic. More from a Mumbai correspondent.
The local train services for the general public, which was shut on 23rd March last year, has resumed from today. For the first time, the common man can avail the services in non-peak hours in specific time slots only. Speaking to AIR, Western Railway Chief PR Sumit Thakur said the authorities have taken special measures to prepare themselves in terms of crowd management. The authorities have decided to increase the number of entry and exit points to facilitate smooth movement of passengers. All ticket counters and ATVM machines will also be operated on full capacity. While the Central Railway will operate all lifts and escalators in its stations, the number of Railway Protection Force personnel deployed on stations will also be doubled. Devpriya Bhattacharjee, AIR News, Mumbai.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to present Union Budget 2021-22 in Lok Sabha at 11 a.m. today. GST revenue collection for month of January this year almost touched 1.2 lakh crore rupees. Prime Minister asserts government committed to modernizing agriculture and taking steps in this direction. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar reiterates new farm laws do not affect current MSP system and mandis. Mumbai local trains resume operations from today. Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi and other senior figures detained this morning. And in cricket, Tamil Nadu beat Baroda by 7 wickets to lift second Syed Mushtaq Ali T20 trophy. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Myanmar State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi and other senior leaders from the country's ruling party, National League for Democracy, NLD, have been detained in an early morning raid. Quoting the NLD spokesman Myo Nyunt, Reuters news agency reports that along with Aung San Suu Kyi, President Win Mint and other leaders were taken in the early hours of the morning. The detention comes hours before the first meeting of the newly elected parliament was to begin today. The official Myanmar news agency had announced that the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Parliament, Pithu Kruthau, will be elected on the first day of the session starting today. The official TV channel of Myanmar, MRTV, announced on Facebook that radio and TV are unable to broadcast due to communication difficulties. Mobile phone services have been cut off in capital Naypyidaw. However, no official statement or announcement has been made by the government or the military on this issue yet.
The Indian Coast Guard is celebrating its 45th Raising Day today. The Indian Coast Guard, ICG, through its tireless pursuits of excellence, has established itself as a reliable force that responds with alacrity to situations impinging on the security of the coastline, safety of the seafaring community and coastal populace. In his message on the eve of Raising Day, Director General, Indian Coast Guard, K. Natarajan, reaffirmed the commitment to the nation for ensuring safe, secure and clean seas.
On the occasion of Indian Coast Guard's 45th Raising Day, I take this opportunity to reaffirm our steadfast commitment to the nation for ensuring safe, secure and clean seas in our areas of responsibility. The Coast Guard Day is celebrated on 1st February every year. Indian Coast Guard is nation's primary peacetime maritime law enforcement force, playing a stellar role in protecting wide-ranging maritime interests.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's parliamentary constituency, Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh, received the second cruise boat under the Pilgrimage Rejuvenation and Spiritual Augmentation Drive Prasad scheme of the central government. This two-tier cruise boat will run in the waters of the Ganga River and show the tourists the spectacular view of 84 ghats of Kashi. State Tourism Minister Neelkant Tiwari received the cruise at Ravidas Ghat. He said that it will help in promoting the tourism sector of the city. Our Lucknow correspondent has the details.
The cruise, named UP Tourism Ferry, reached through waterways from Goa to Varanasi via Kolkata, Odisha, Patna and Ghazipur in more than 2 months, and hundreds of localites gathered at Ramnagar terminal to get the first look of it. The cruise has seating capacity of 100 people on both ground and top floors, and it will run from Rajghat to Asti Ghat. The top floor of the cruise has open space standing on which tourists can have a glance on all ghats of Kashi. Under the Prasad scheme of central government, more than 10 crore rupees have been spent on cruise service, ticket counter and other amenities to promote the tourism at ghats of Kashi. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 96.99%. A total of 13,965 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours. The total number of recoveries has gone up to over 1 crore 4 lakh and 23,125. The Health Ministry said that the actual caseload currently comprises only 1.57% of the total positive cases. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has said that the unique digital platform CoWIN was developed to support the vaccination activity with real-time information, ensuring that the vaccine against COVID-19 is given to the right people at the right time. The Minister was addressing the British Association of Physicians of Indian Origin, Wales annual conference on India's success in battling COVID-19.
In Gujarat, 71,534 frontline corona warriors were vaccinated against the COVID-19 yesterday. According to the State Health Department, a total of 3,17,464 people have received the vaccine against COVID-19 in the state till now. AIR Ahmedabad correspondent reports that most of the senior police officers were vaccinated on the first day of the second phase of vaccination. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
District collectors and district superintendent of police in most of the districts of Gujarat have taken vaccine against the COVID-19. These officers have taken vaccine in front of media persons to clear the doubts among the common people about the safety of vaccine. Meanwhile, no death has been reported in the state due to COVID-19 during the last 24 hours. 316 new cases reported during the last 24 hours, while 335 patients recovered and discharged from the various hospitals. The recovery rate has reached up to 97%. Number of active cases in the state now reduced to 3,450. Out of these, 33 patients are on ventilators. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu will inaugurate Adi Mahotsav, a national tribal festival today at Delhi Hut in INA, the national capital. It will continue till the 15th of this month. Tribal Affairs Ministry said the Adi Mahotsav, a celebration of the spirit of tribal culture, crafts, cuisine and commerce, is a successful annual initiative that was commenced in 2017. The festival was an attempt to familiarize the people with the rich and diverse craft culture of the tribal communities across the country in one place. The festival at Delhi Haat in INA will comprise display and sale of tribal art and craft, medicine, cuisine and folk performances.
In cricket, Tamil Nadu lifted the coveted Syed Mushtaq Ali T20 trophy after defeating Baroda by 7 wickets in the final at the Sardar Patel Stadium in Ahmedabad yesterday. This was Tamil Nadu's second Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy triumph after winning their first title way back in 2006-2007. Baroda, who had won the title twice in the past in 2011-12 and 2013-14, ended runners-up this time. It was a clinical campaign for Tamil Nadu, who remained unbeaten throughout the league. Chasing 121 to win, they overhauled the target in 18 overs with 7 wickets to spare. For Tamil Nadu, opener C. Hari Nishant with 35 runs, B. Aparajit with unbeaten 29-run knock, and skipper Dinesh Karthik with 22 runs made valuable contributions. Earlier put into bat, Baroda were restricted to a meagre 124 in 20 overs by Tamil Nadu. Left-arm spinner M. Siddharth displayed his brilliant bowling up front, wrecking Baroda's top order with a 4-wicket haul. Vishnu Solanki with 49 runs was the top scorer for Baroda.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. National capital Delhi experienced shallow fog in the morning. The temperature will hover between 6 and 22 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have mainly clear skies. The minimum temperature is around 19 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 34 degrees. Chennai witnessed fog and mist in the morning and partly cloudy sky later. The temperature will vary between 24 and 31 degrees Celsius. In Kolkata, there was mist in the morning and mainly clear sky later. The city observed a minimum of around 12 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 23 degrees. In Srinagar, there will be partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between -4 and 5 degrees Celsius. In Jammu, the minimum temperature is around 6 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 20 degrees with mainly clear sky. Leh will have mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature is -15 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 1 degree. Gilgit will have mainly clear sky. The temperature will hover between -6 and 12 degrees Celsius. In Muzaffarabad, the temperature will hover between 3 and 17 degrees Celsius. Dehradun will witness mist. Minimum temperature was 5 degrees Celsius, whereas the maximum will be around 22 degrees. Chandigarh will have mainly clear skies. The temperature is likely to hover between 5 and 23 degrees Celsius.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Nirmala Sitharaman to present Union Budget today is the story that dominates headlines in most of the newspapers this morning. Economic vaccine expected from FM leads the Statesman. Budget to focus on job creation, health today, writes Hindustan Times. The Tribune, quoting the Prime Minister, batting for farm reforms, writes, nation saddened by tricolour insult. Farmers seek a middle way, want a solution with respect, says the Asian Age. Police cut off single border from capital, reports Hindustan Times. Weekly COVID casualties fall below 1,000, lowest since May, leads the Times of India. Sasikala out of hospital, car sports AIADMK flag, informs the Hindu. Cinema halls can fill 100% seats with COVID safety norms, informs the Pioneer, adding sanitization of hall after every show, staggered exit, entry and digital ticketing among SOPs. And finally, the Indian Express reports that BCCI will let fans back in stadium for Motera test between India and England on February the 24th.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to present Union Budget 2021-22 in Lok Sabha at 11 a.m. today. Gst Revenue collection for month of January this year almost touched 1.20 lakh crore rupees. Prime Minister asserts government committed to modernizing agriculture and taking steps in this direction. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar reiterates new farm laws do not affect current MSP system and mandis. Mumbai local trains resume operations for all from today. Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi and other senior figures detained this morning. And in cricket, Tamil Nadu beat Baroda by 7 wickets to lift second Syed Mushtaq Ali T20 trophy. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.